guys, welcome to or welcome back to the dollhouse. I am still alive, sort of. It's been a rough one. I haven't made a video in a while, and I'm sorry. I am such a non-fluencer. I have sat around for like 3 days trying to think of how to word this. And I'm not sure if I got it right, but you know, it is what it is. You guys know, or if you don't know, I am spoony to the fullest degree. I collect diagnoses like they're Pokemon. Not on purpose, just kind of, at least if it has a name, I know it's not in my head. And it's a thing. So, recently I decided to throw everything into chaos when I slipped in the bathroom and landed on my tailbone, which promptly broke. It broke my tailbone. I am not this old yet. And for any of you out there that have never fallen square on your butt and felt that pain, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Sooner or later, you're going to do it. I wish you wouldn't. I hope you don't. But it's taken me a couple days to get the meds regulated, and I am coherent enough to talk, but not so in touch with reality that I'm screaming and crying. So, bonus, I guess. So me, in all of my wisdom, decided to finally make something that I wanted out of my much hoarded purple punch pop sweet rolls from Premier. And I did a hexacardy because I've never done just a regular granny stitch hexacardy, and that sounded not too hard because granny squares, 1 2 3 1 2 3. But I decided I wanted to color control it. And I so understand why most people just get a variegated or a self-striping and let it do what it's going to do. Because yarn ends and tails and weaving. And I'm not done yet. I have woven in so many tails. And I still have the sleeves to weave the ends in, and then I have to do the cuffs and the trim on the collar and the bottom. And that's a lot of math, especially if I'm going to do ribbed cuffs. And I'm not up for that. So the other day, while I was going through my yarn stash, every now and then, I go through my yarn stash and I find things that I've been waiting for the perfect project for. I find things that I have shoved back into a corner. I find things that fell behind the yarn wall. And I dug out a good-sized Chewy box of yarn that I'm allergic to. And I don't know why I held on to it. I can't work with wool. Anything with wool in it, I found out very early in my recrocheting career that I can't work with wool because it eats my fingers. And there's some acrylics that just dry my hands out too much. And also, if you have reactions to yarn, you understand this yarn eats my fingers. Coffee. I have coffee mugs with my logo on them. There's one right there. I don't drink out of them. I don't know why. I should. Mine says I drink coffee for your protection. I am a creature of habit. So on top of the let's fall down on my butt and break that, and I found a new protein company because we're trying to eat cleaner and all of the things. And I found Green Bites Go, which they are delicious. But I forgot that my system, I have mast cell activation syndrome, which basically means I'm allergic to stupid things. And I forgot that mast cell activation often reacts to what doctors call novel foods. Those things you don't generally eat, that suddenly this is like, wow, it's something new, and my brain goes, this is something new, it must be trying to kill us. So, yeah. They're delicious, and they're vegan, and they are fresh baked when you order, and they are delivered straight from a bakery in Florida. The guy that owns it is from Peru, and he's a like 5-star chef or something, and they're made with real food. They're made with avocado and spirulina and ube and maca root and, you know, the nummy things. And they don't use artificial dyes or artificial sweeteners. They do use cane sugar, but it's not a lot. And they're not overly sweet, and they're not overly chalky, and it has, like, if you took a Tasty Cake coffee cake, just one of those store packaged, get out of the vending machine little coffee cakes, and that had a baby with a cookie. It's almost a blondie texture, but it's a little drier than a blondie. Oh my God, they're so good. But I had an allergic reaction to the first one I ate. So I took some Benadryl because, you know, allergic to living. And it was okay after I took some Benadryl. And I called my GP because doctors know more than me. And I said, okay. After I looked up on my own, novel food, MCAS, and this is a new food for me, so I'm thinking it might be this or it might be that, because these two things, I haven't had a problem before, but I don't remember eating this, and I've never had this particular protein blend, so I'm not sure what I'm allergic to, because I only eat one bar. And apparently, should I just eat the rest of them with a Benadryl chaser is not what my doctor wanted to hear. She said, no, you should not eat the rest of them with a Benadryl chaser. Just because you had a mild reaction does not mean you will have a second mild reaction. She said, if you're going to eat a second one, Benadryl before, Benadryl after, make sure you have an EpiPen. You know, when the EpiPen gets mentioned, that it might be serious. So I'm debating whether I should eat the rest of them. But they're really good. They're really good. I'll put a linky somewhere up here. I'll put something down in the description because I have a code thing and a coupon, and they are so good. But if you are allergic to new foods or your body does not react well to new foods, take caution. I'm allergic to stupid things. I'm allergic to things that doctors have looked at me and said, you can't be allergic to that. I'm allergic to mosquitoes. Everybody's technically allergic to mosquitoes because that's why you get that little itchy lump when a mosquito bites you. Yeah, My mosquito bites range from golf ball to softball size because my system seems to go on high alert like the mosquito is injecting me with some kind of death venom when it's just a mosquito. So yay, there's that. It takes up to 16 weeks, and there's really nothing you can do for a broken tailbone except try to sit still and not put pressure on it. So that's been fun. Huge thank you to my medicine men and women, my growers and makers of the magic medicine, because without them I would still be on opioids at a massive level, and I am not. So food for natural medicine. I have gotten some things done while I'm kind of stuck here. I don't have my cardigan to show you because it's over there, and it makes me sad right now because if I try to do the cuffs, I'm just going to get frustrated, so I'm just leaving it alone for right now. But I will show you and tell you our lovely crocheting at the DMV story if you'd like to hear it. Even if you wouldn't like to hear it, here it go. So my youngest told me we need to take the car to the shop and make sure it'll get through inspection. I said, that's fine. I called my regular mechanic guy, and he said, well, we're kind of full up. We're not going to be able to see your car for another, we can't even look at it for like 3 weeks, maybe a month. I said, okay, that's not going to work. Let me call around. So I found a shop that's been in the same area for 40 years. I've known of them. I've just never had to use them for anything. So we called them. He's like, oh yeah, we can get you in tomorrow. Can you bring it up tomorrow? I'm there. So we told him, we know he needs this fixed. We know he needs that fixed. Just give it a once over. Make sure I can get through inspection. We got the car back in 2 days. That's frigging incredible. So my son did not tell me the day we took it to inspection was the day it was due. I was raised that if you're on time, you're late. If you're 15 minutes early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, that's unacceptable. We took it to the DMV the day it was due. It did not pass. So, while waiting in line at the first DMV, I brought some scrap yarn with me. I wish I still had the label for this. I have no idea what I did with the label. But I found some really old Red Heart gemstone, which I don't even remember getting. But I said, okay, we'll just make a little bag, because I can start making a little bag and probably finish it up waiting in the DMV. So this was my first little bag. Nothing big, not lined. I just did a crochet around the bottom edge so the handle is like well incorporated, and then an extra 2 to hold it on each side. But it's just a little tote baggy thing. It's cute, whatever. Use some yarn. If nobody wants it, or if I can't find anybody that loves it, it'll just go get donated, because that's what I do. I seem to make a lot of donations, but I figure what I don't sell for fundage, I sell for karma. I trade yarn for karma. So, the second time, after we went back to the shop, the second time in line at the DMV, I made this one. Oh, it has buttons on the back. Why does it have buttons on the back? Well, I shall show you why it has buttons on the back. These green buttons are my thing. I love these green buttons. Green button, if you've never seen them, Green buttons are kind of my thing. So, I made a little loop on the front that goes over the button, and I made a strap for it. And it's all just half doubles, so you can kind of just mush your finger wherever you want and make the strap as long as you want. You can make it a crossbody, or you can make it a shoulder purse. You can double the strap up so it's twice as thick and shorter. But ta-da! Nice little crossbody, pouch pocket, bang. And this is just the Red Hearts gemstone with, I believe this is scraps of I Love This Yarn dark denim. I love this yarn. I hate this company. And it goes very well. It's a very 70s denim-y vibe. So I got those knocked out. Second shop trip, got everything fixed. They're really getting picky at the DMV. But everything's working up to date. We had to pay a $20 late fee. But cars inspected, 2 purses made. Boom. So the first couple days after that, trying to figure out something I can do while not moving. And I happened to find 3 Lion Brand Big Scoop in the color Cookies and Cream while I was unhoarding, while I was unstashing, while I was picking things out of my stash to play with or donate. So I figured I would try to make a cardigan that does not have a bajillion tails to weave in and just let the color go. And this is hurting my brain because I'm not at the size I need it to be yet, so it's still small and the colors are pooling together in the wrong way, and like one side, I'll show you. If you don't know, this is the the beginning of the Hexie cardigan. All it is a hexagon, and when you fold it the proper way, once it's done, you will have a sleeve and a body. That's why it doesn't sit flat, because you're supposed to fold it. This color pooling really is beautiful. This color pooling really is beautiful. It's not the same sweater. But I'm trusting the process. And I started with a partial skein. So I got it well medicated and very well centered. And I took the Centro and I had a conversation with it. And I said, "You're a piece of plastic, and I bought you from China, and we're going to work together. I'm not fighting you. You're not going to fight me. We are going to work together on this." And maybe it's my weird talking to inanimate things, maybe communicating with, the craft spirits this way. But if you cuss and yell at something you're making, it doesn't help. So I'm trying to do the whole, crystals, wee-woo, intentions thing, because everybody needs more positive intentions in their life. So I had a discussion with the Centro. And I keep hitting this cord and I'm so sorry. And after my first discussion with the Centro, we had an okay tube. And it had a couple skipped stitches. It had a couple, you know, could have been my fault, could have been machine's fault, could have just been trying to keep it constant. I feel like if you have a Centro or a knitting machine of that type, if you keep the movement constant, your stitches stay more constant. And I always have to watch the little yarn guard. I have to talk to Hoop and Home and find out who she gets her little springy thing, her tensioner. It's a tensioner, Kira. It's a tensioner. I'll have to talk to Hoop and Home and find out where she gets her little springy tensioner from, because I have the most horrible problems with the tensioner on the Centro that just wants to kick up all the time. So I'll have to talk to her, because watching Hoop and Home, Sherry is brilliant. And Sherry seems to like a lot of the same colors that I do. And I could watch her little shorts forever, because she just picks a song and it just shows how the yarn works up. And then she has, you know, she puts her camera in the middle and you can see her cranking. Sometimes she has her hubs there and she puts little toys in the middle and you watch them spin around. I could watch her shorts for days. And I said, okay, if Sherry can do this, I should be able to do this. Because Sherry's a person and I'm a person. And we've chatted over lives a couple times and she seems like she's just a sweetheart. So I said, okay, the Centro is done mocking me and we are now a team. And this first one didn't come out as pretty as I would have liked. Look, I even did the elastic pom-pom thing with the button. I did the elastic and I have the little shoe, handmade with love. But I did it! I did it! This is a discontinued. I have a whole lot of like one skein of discontinued thing. I don't know what my little heart meant by hoarding them, but it's really fun coming across these skeins for hats. This is a Premier Candy Shop roll. I have no idea what color this is. I think this is blue raspberry, but don't hold me to that. It didn't have a label. So I did this, and it's double knit, and it's inside-y, outside-y, but the stripes are prettier on this side. And I was so chuffed. I cannot tell you. I did it. I did it. I made a hat. And my family is very supportive of me. My husband and my kids are all very supportive, you know, but they're not into. You know, I can come across and show my husband, I can say, look, I made a hat. I've never been able to do this before. I made a hat. And he smiles and he pats me on my head. And he says, good job. That's nice. And I appreciate the support, but nobody in my house cares about the yarn. My oldest is really good with picking colors that go together, so I lean on him for the color because he's got a better eye than me. I guess he doesn't have as much visual static because he can see colors better. But I had him help me pick out some different ones to see how it would hat. How will it hat? How will it hat? It might have to be, once the Centro and I are on friendly terms. Right now we're cordial. Nobody's being snippy, nobody's being mean, but we are just at the cordial stage. I am not going to assume that the Centro is my friend, but we are cordial. Once we get friendly, Willet hat might have to be a thing. Because some yarns do not hat. Some yarns will not work on the Centro. Some yarns only work on the Centro in some colors. So I might have to make Willet hat a thing. Would you like to see a Willet hat series and watch me get frustrated and untangle my Centro? Because I try to do it as much as I can without cussing, because YouTube, family friendly, something something. Not everybody has a potty mouth like my house. So I try to keep that to myself when I'm doing something on a public forum. Though if you meet me in person, I may let them slip. I try not to on here out of respect, because not everybody speaks the way I do. I do also have a water on deck, just in case. I'm not just drinking coffee. I know it's hot. So then I got brave. And I said, okay, I have this scrap that I know is not going to be enough for a hat. Let's see if we can make a two-tone hat and have it work. I love this one. And I've got to love this one because it's like 102 outside and I am trying on acrylic hats. But look at this. It's a hat. And it's not like obviously a homemade hat. I have made things that have blaring enough mistakes that it's obviously a homemade hat. And my oldest likes to say, we'll clean up the language a little bit. My oldest likes to say, the messed upness is the charm because it's handmade. But I try not to have too much messed upness unless it's just, for my personal use, because I am not a meticulous counter. And I apparently can't have my phone plugged in while I'm doing this because I'm shaking you guys all over the place. I'm so sorry. Refocus. I look cuter out of focus some days, but today's not too bad. So, 102 degrees. Now I have an excuse to have hat hair because it's hot and I need a haircut. But this also has the cute little handmade with love. And we got the little pom-pom on it. But this is, I love this yarn. I hate this company, Bloomopolis and Graybeard. And I actually measured it out pretty well. So the whole inside is gray, but I did have enough to do the top of that. So I am stupid proud of myself by this point. These are probably just going to end up getting donated because the ones that had too many drop stitches or really noticeable drop stitches, I just took off and rewound the cake and tried to do it over and then rewound the cake. But this one, I think I know where this one is going, because when I first started recrocheting, I made a hat for my friend Josh on Twitter. And I made him one with a sweet roll black pepper cake. I don't have a sweet roll black pepper cake. I have no idea what this is called because, once again, no label. Though it is a Premier Candy Shop colorway. But I made the ombre gray hat, which, again, I got these in 2 different colors. I'm trying to find somebody local that makes these so I can maybe get my name on them. but I don't know any local leather people. So if you do leather craft and you make these, hit me up in the comments, because I so would rather buy from you than buy from a big box store. I'd rather have the labels and all be handmade. But right now, it is what it is. But I am super stoked at this hat. And I am going to be sending this one to Josh, because he was one of my biggest cheerleaders when I started doing the crochet thing. And the first hat I sent him was a double crocheted beanie before I knew really how to do edging. And it's a functional hat, but this one is so much better. So I'm just going to send that to him sometime later this summer. Just surprise him with it. Had the brilliant idea of, hey, I have a little bit of granny square yarn left from the loom knit blanket that I was making with granny square yarn. And I said, that should come out neat stripies. We should try the granny square yarn. And oh yes, the neat stripies. I'm kind of wanting to do more granny square yarn with the hats, because I'm kind of in love with the little stripy pattern in the middle, just sandwiched in between the white. I am kind of in love with that. That one does not yet have one of the fancy little things yet, because I haven't gotten around to it. But this is granny square amethyst soft white. I think this is the amethyst soft white color. This was the first color in the granny square that I ever bought. And the purple pom-pom just matches it. But my favorite, no, not yet. You can't see my favorite yet. This one is my next two favorite. But I have a couple Karen 1 pounds that I bought to make a camouflage-esque blanket, and had some leftovers. So I believe this Karen 1 pound was called Woodland. I think. But isn't that cute? How it makes little stripies of all different colors. I adore this. This would look so cute on a little boy. I mean, even without the pom-pom. I did make all of the pom-poms removable with the little elastic and the little notched buttons, because I don't know about you, but I grew up Gen X, and I grew up as a my sister called me Poindexter. I was one of the smart kids. You know, the kids that they had to pull out of class and put us in the special class, so we're all the smart kids together in one class. So we're just a big target. And my sister was not in said group of people. She was in the opposite of said group of people. So I got to find out the loose rules around Snatch the Pom-Pom. So I knew not to wear a pom-pom on my hat. Because if you got the hat with the pom-pom, you get 1 point. But if you can snatch the pom-pom off the hat and still leave the hat on the kid's head, you get 2 points. And you get a bonus 5 if they cry. This was not a game I participated in voluntarily. I tried to wear pom-pom hats only at home, but when you're a little kid, there's only so much you can do. You know, mom throws a hat on you and sends you to school and doesn't want to hear that you don't want a pom-pom on it. So I have to ease myself into wearing pom-pom hats, because I just... get a little spicy nostalgia. Little spicy nostalgia with the pom-pom heads. Okay. Last one. Last one I'm going to bore you with. This one is my favorite. And if I can get, I have one more skein of this, and if I can get this to color pool the same way. Sorry about that. Had to move things around a little bit. If I can get the next skein of yarn to color pool in the same way this did, I will be ecstatic. This is another, I love this yarn, I hate this company. I have no idea what it's called. Give me a minute, I'll grab the other skein. But I love how the colors came out on this one. You can see how the blue and the purple just kind of banded together. And it goes all the way around the hat. I love how this one came out. I might have to keep this one for myself because this is just, that's cool. Let me grab the skein and I'll let you know what it's called. Okay, this is Candy Stick Stash. And that's what it looks like from the side. It's very, very rapid changing with the colors, but all of the colors are just so vibrant. So vibrant. And I do. I honestly can say I love this yarn, but I hate this company. So, that one came out neat. One of my medicine men really likes that one. I might send that to him and see if I can make another one for myself. Because that's generally what I don't really sell a lot of stuff. I tried to do the like selling things I made, but people want a king size blanket and want a king size blanket for $200, and once you're done ordering the 3 colors they requested for yarn, even if you get it on sale for a king size blanket, there goes half of that money already. And then the time put into it, and the things, and the stuff, and the... I have a king size blanket I still have to finish for someone. That reminds me. But I was doing the making things for the money, and it's just there's so many people making the things for the money, and then people are deciding I don't want to pay the money for the things, and then they learn how to make the things, and so I make the things and either gift them to somebody I know will appreciate them, or I donate them, like the blankets go to Comfort for Critters. They go to my local shelter that will accept yarn blankets. Not all shelters will accept yarn blankets. I actually have a message into Rocky Kanaka from Sitting with Dogs and see if his shelter will take blankets made from yarn, because all the blankets I see that they have are fleece blankets. So I gotta ask first, because there's no sense making and paying postage and sending them to somebody that can't use them, because in the same amount of time I could have sent them to my local shelter. But just another, you know, here's a way I can help. I think karma banking in my advanced age, I think karma banking is a lot better for the soul. Financial banking is fantastic, and I would like to be able to have disposable income and buy the newest, hottest yarn thing out there. But financial is not where I landed. So if I can build up my karma bank before all of this stuff makes me no longer able to collect karma points. So be it. You know, getting a $20 bill is cool, but giving something to somebody and seeing the actual, you know, oh, you made this, is really heartwarming. And it's kind of selfish because it really is heartwarming. You know, small acts of kindness. It doesn't matter if you're doing it to make yourself feel better or to help somebody else or both. Small acts of kindness are always acts of kindness. So there's not a lot I can do when I'm stuck in four walls, and there's really not a lot I can do when I'm stuck not moving from side to side because ow. So, you know, I do what I can. I do what I can. I also like to make, like if one of my friends says, oh, I saw your thing, that would be really cute in this color. Hey, I can probably make that in that color. And then just randomly mail things out. I like sending surprise yarn bombs. There's a guy on my street. I haven't met him yet. Or a girl. Or them. Or I don't know. I haven't met the people of the house. But they have one of those ginormous skeletons in their yard. And they have a couple gargoyles. And I had the first gargoyle. I'm sorry, I'm still getting used to speaking with this new human body. I had the first gargoyle on the street. And then these people moved in and they had gargoyles. And then they had this big, huge skeleton. I said, man, if I had to spend that much, knowing how much the big Home Depot skeleton was, I said, I'd have to keep it up all year. Well, they have. They have kept it up all year. So I've been trying to look up measurements and things because I want to get my youngest to help me. But one of the nights before July is over, I want to slap a bucket hat on him and give him a beach tote. Just in the middle of the night, I want to have my kid go down there and like yarn bomb their skeleton. I think that would be the coolest thing. I don't know if I could like do enough to like have it carry a beach towel, but I want to make a big old tote bag and a big old bucket hat for the summer because that skeleton deserves accessories. I hope it wouldn't make them mad, and I am looking about the laws of trespassing and whether that would be a thing, because you kind of have to CYA in today's society even if you're trying to do something nice. But I thought it would be neat. I want to yarn bomb their skeleton so bad. I lost my train of thought. That train just derailed. This video is getting on, so I should probably cut this a little bit shorter. I am going to continue trusting the process and hoping I don't make one gray sweater. Ooh, and one white sweater, but it seems to be evening out a little bit. We just got a big thunder, boom, or rumble, so prepare for incoming storms. I am going to try to make more videos because if I can hit 1,000 subscribers, I already have a box set up for a giveaway. So, you know, share, like, thumbs, whistles, bells, subscribe, things, algorithm. But once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I will have a giveaway that will include. I might need more coffee. Hi, close up. Sorry. I have a box put together that already includes notions and yarn and not yarn things and spiffy stuff and snacky things and even perhaps a flower vase that is functional for many kinds of flowers. So 1,000 subscribers, and that box is going to be chosen from everybody that subscribes. So share, do your thing. I don't think I can do a communities until I'm monetized. I'm not holding my breath for monetization because I am in no way a good influencer. I've been told very many times I am not a good influence. But I am not persistent, and I still can't. Everything is content. So we're working on that. I'm trying to do more shorts. I'm trying to do more questions with you guys. I'm trying to do more interactive things. I'm trying to be more confident about doing tutorials because my hands are a little shaky and sometimes my nails are a hot mess and I get a little self-conscious about that. But let's not go there. Anywho, yeah, we already did algorithm, all the things. I've been babbling forever, so I am going to go finish playing 1, 2, 3 and counting my granny stitches. And you guys make sure to stay, guys, girls, peoples, lovelies. All of the lovelies out there should stay hydrated. Even though it's going to rain, it is still very hot. And your meat suit needs the waters. So, try to stay cool. Stay creative. Be good. Be good to yourself. Sprinkle kindness like seeds. Small acts of kindness may not be big to you, but they may be huge to someone else. And until next time, goodbye, lovelies. Thank you for hanging out with me. I will try to make more standard content, not just every once in a while, but, you know, spoony things. Also, to the spoony stitcher, I will have to put a linky to her too. We had a good chat this morning. Although I'm not sure she quite gets my humor about bursting into flames at Hobby Lobby, but you know, my humor is not for everyone. I am not generally acceptable. I am not generally acceptable. And on that note, until next time, goodbye, lovelies.